We are continuing our conversation this week about mortgages. By way of a recap, we've talked about reverse mortgages, we've talked about what PITI-HOA stands for, what DTI is, and LTV. And last week, we discussed rate term refinances. Please go back if you missed those discussions. Today, we will discuss cash out refinances, what they are, and why would anyone want to do a cash out refinance right now, okay? So, last week, again, we talked about rate term refinances, and a cash out refinance is similar in that when you refinance your mortgage, you get a new loan for your home. The new loan pays off the old one, so you're left with just one loan and one payment. Also, with a cash out, the new loan amount is higher than what you owe on your house. It's higher than what you owe on your house, okay? So remember, with a rate term refinance, you were changing the rate or changing the term. But with a cash out refinance, you use the cash out refinance to cash in on your home's equity, okay? So at closing, you will pocket the amount between the new higher loan amount and what you owed on your previous loan. All right, I hope you guys, that makes sense, okay? So we talked a lot about equity and using the home's equity when we talked initially about reverse mortgages. And in that discussion, we talked about a home also being an appreciating asset. So if you owe $100,000 on your home, but your home is worth $200,000, then that means you have $100,000 worth of equity in your home, okay? Now, when you're doing a cash out refinance, most lenders will not let you get the full 100%, okay? They're gonna typically require that you leave 15 to 20% of the home's equity in the home. So in the example that I just used, if your home is worth $200,000 and you have $100,000 in equity, to leave 20% equity in your home, you would have to leave $40,000 in, okay? So if you have $100,000 in equity and you gotta leave $40,000 of equity in your home, then that means you have $60,000 then to take now in the cash out. Now that's the $60,000 minus your fees, because remember we said whenever you do a refinance, whether it's a cash out or a rate term, there's always going to be fees associated with it, and it's typically 2 to 3% of your loan amount. So again, in that example, you would have $60,000 to use for your cash out, okay? All right. So a few things to know about cash out refinances. Because it's seen as a higher risk, there's a few more restrictions that are put on cash out refinances. The rate may be higher. Your credit score may have to be higher depending on what program you're using. And we already talked about them minimizing the LTV, the loan to value, right? They're not going to let you pull the whole 100% out. They're going to typically make you leave 15 to 20% in the house, okay? So there are a few more restrictions associated with the cash out refinance. Why would anybody want to get a cash out refinance? So some people want to access their home's equity for a variety of reasons. It may be because of retirement. They may want to get that money out and then put it in their own savings, their own 401k or what have you, so that they can save for retirement, all right? The cash out can be used for college expenses. So you may want to take that money out and use it for your college expenses for your kids. That's another reason. It can be used to purchase additional property. Some people are into getting rental homes and things of that nature. So sometimes they may take some of the equity out to use that as a down payment on a new investment property. Or you can use the cash out money to do home improvements. Lots of people do that. They'll say, oh, let me get that $60,000 because I need to remodel my kitchen or I need to redo the bathrooms. You can use it for that as well. And then another reason people use cash out sometimes is to pay off debt. Okay, they may have a substantial amount of debt and they want to pay it off. So they want to use it for a variety of reasons, okay? Now, as we consider our entire financial goals, there is one tip or one thing that I want to leave with you as it relates to using a cash out refinance to pay off debt, okay? Because some people, like some of the pros of doing that are if you have a whole bunch of debt, and you know, credit card interest rates are like 25, 20%, they're really, really high. And so if you have a lot of debt, you may want to consolidate them because you know mortgage loans, the interest rate is typically lower. You roll it all in and then you pay off that debt. That's one of the pros. But one of the things and that statistics say is typically when people use cash out to pay off all of their like credit card debt and things of that nature, and you can use it to pay off your car, student loans, the whole 9 yards. But specifically with credit cards, within like 2 or 3 years, they're back in credit card debt. Okay, so what does that mean? If you are going to use cash out from your home to pay off debt, you really have to be diligent and disciplined not to just run your credit cards back up again. Because the whole goal is, right, is to get out of debt. And you don't want to use the equity in your home to get out of debt and then just go right back into that credit card debt. Another reason why that's important is because now you've taken the debt from a credit card, rolled it into your home, and if for some reason you stop paying on that home, now they can come and foreclose on you, right? If you just had it in a credit card, yes, it would mess up your credit. Yes, you may, be able to take care of it in a bankruptcy, which would also affect your credit, but at least it's not going to take your home. So if you plan to use cash out as a debt consolidation plan, please just make sure you're disciplined and that your intention is to never get back in that credit card debt again, okay? All right, so what I have done is, or what I will do, is put some links in the comments about refinances, the difference between cash out refinance and a home equity loan, because those are two different things. There will be some information about that, and there'll be also some information about the pros and the cons of doing a cash out refinance, okay?